there's definitely good and bad sponsorships. Choose wisely. You're aligning yourself with a product or with a community. Just run away with your time.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Stream Key Podcast, our weekly podcast here at TRUgaming, where every week we talk with streamers about ways to improve on Twitch as a streamer, whether it's branding or, in this case, things like finding sponsorships. And today, I'm really excited to have TaintedRumbler on the show with us. Tainted, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hopefully you're doing well. He was just telling me he had some bacon and eggs for breakfast, and I did as well. Had some late lunches.
Mine's thinking alike.
Yeah, it's the breakfast of champions for sure.
Oh yeah.
We hope you guys are doing well today. We'll be talking about sponsorships today, like I kind of mentioned, because direct quote from Rumbler here, he has a sort of formula for finding sponsorships, from what he told me. So I'm curious to learn more about that. And I also have some experience with sponsorships being on the other end from a company perspective. So hopefully this is a good talk for you guys. Tainted, real quick, can you kind of introduce yourself to the audience for people who don't know you, maybe as well as others?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Matthew Higgins. Been streaming for around 3 years now. This channel is only a year old, but I started going serious with streaming about a year ago. So I stream pretty much first-person shooters mainly, but everything if I can. So yeah, I mean, other than that, the community is just full of great people so far. So it's been doing good.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you do some kind of ARC stream sometimes too, it looks like.
I do some RP. I don't know if anybody's ever watched some RP streams of, like, example, like Mr. Moon's house or something, how he does like characters and whatnot.
Or Sheriff Eli, I guess.
Yeah. I'll like, because I'm a part of the Twitch RP servers and RP first servers and stuff like that, and I'll do RP stuff on there. I haven't done it for a while, but that's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, so you've been streaming for about a year total, you said? On
this channel, yep.
Okay, you streamed on other channels before then? Or...
Well, kind of. It was, yeah, kind of. It wasn't serious. Like, I started taking it pretty serious like a year ago. Okay,
cool. Great information. Quick question that I ask everyone who comes on the show: where did you get your username, TaintedRumbler? Where did that come from?
It stems off of a few things. In high school, I was a wrestler, went to state twice, and people called me the TaintedRumbler. TaintedRumbler, yeah.
TaintedRumbler.
So it stemmed off of that. That was actually like my first streaming type channel and stuff like that. But then I thought about it because I was a little younger, and I thought about it. And, you know, if I ever wanted sponsors or something like that, I don't think a lot of them would want to sponsor with a name called TaintedRumbler. So yeah, it stemmed off of that. Plus, I guess ESO. I used to play that when it first came out and made a guild called Tainted Alliance Gaming. So that's kind of where it stemmed as well. So
gotcha. Yeah, I saw that TAG gaming. I was kind of wondering where that came from too. Like, is that from ESO?
That's from ESO. Yeah, it's kind of the community that I started building before I started streaming.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Definitely one of the usernames that I was really curious about, because I think you have one of the more unique ones for people that we sponsor.
So, yeah, I've been told that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, last question that I ask everybody who comes on the show: what keeps you motivated to stream on Twitch, and what do you love about it?
I would say honestly, what keeps me motivated to do it are the people that I meet. I've had many people come in and say, like, my attitude, my humor, the community itself has really helped them through like really tough times, like suicides and stuff like that.
Wow.
Just depression. It's just like, I think people give me too much credit sometimes, or other streamers. But when you experience that or something, like you're helping someone out, not even realizing it, it makes you just feel good, and you want to keep on doing it. You feel like kind of like an obligation to help people that come there for an escape, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just that's probably my biggest motivation to keep doing it, and why I love it. I mean, obviously why I love it too is I'm just playing games, being me.
Right.
And sometimes it's pretty freaking funny, I guess. I mean, it's just how it is. It's just fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the really cool things about Twitch, though, is you can, you start playing on Twitch just because you're playing video games and it's fun to stream it, right? You're just having a fun time. But then by accident, you kind of end up helping people through hard times like that. And so it's even more reason to stream. And it's really cool. It's just crazy that you can have that effect by playing video games, isn't it?
It really is. That's why, like, it's kind of life changing, not only for like other people that it helps, but for you too, because you're like, wow, you don't realize it, and it's just it's a really cool thing. Yeah, it's one of the things I love about Twitch for sure. Okay, cool. So let's get into the actual discussion for the topic this week, which is sponsorships, and specifically how to find them, how to figure out which ones are good. And again, Tainted came to me with this concept because I guess he recently got a new sponsorship that you told me about. Okay. And he's also sponsored by us at TRUgaming. So he's a couple sponsorships under his belt now, has some experience in finding them and hopefully finding good ones if you find the ones you have now good. Exactly. So, okay, first of all, I want to kind of talk about sponsorships and what the term means because there's a lot of different things like sponsorships on Twitch. There's affiliations, sponsorships, partnerships. Are we talking about everything here? Yeah, I mean everything, because it all makes up, like, if you're wanting to take your channel seriously, as in maybe getting just a little bit of an income on it, or just extra money in your pocket or whatnot. A lot of that stuff will help you do that. So gotcha. I mean, affiliations, sponsorships, and there's all kinds of different kinds of sponsorships and stuff like that too. I mean, it's a very in-depth thing. Yeah, for sure. What kind of sponsorships and affiliates and etc. do you have right now, just so people kind of have a reference point for where you're speaking from? I have three. I have a couple I can't talk about yet because it's still in the works. But right now I have three. Of course, it's TRUgaming. They were my actual first sponsors, and we love them. I think everybody does. Hope so. Then as you can see right there, Rogue Energy. I got sponsored by them not too long ago. It's a fairly new company, but it's like energy drink and stuff like that, kind of like G Fuel and whatnot. Right. And then one of my most recent ones was one that kind of blew me away. Was Designed by Humans, which is like an apparel company that does like shirts, clothing, coffee mugs. They do everything. So if you have a brand, if you have something that is marketable or people love or people can associate with, you can put it on a shirt or something like that. People can buy them. So it's pretty cool. That's awesome. Are they all classified as sponsorships or some affiliations, or what are the technical terms for each of those? Can you share that? Yeah, I mean, Rogue Energy, that's a sponsorship. It's a sponsorship program. Okay. So what that is as you progress and as, like, if you sell stuff, it's kind of like being a salesperson a little bit, because obviously you have to try the product and you have to believe in it. And once you sell it, it like ups, you get free product and stuff like that. So, Designed by Humans, everything I've read, it's a sponsorship. So I throw them all my designs, everything that I want it on, like shirts or mugs or whatever. They market it, they put it out there, they ship it, they do all that, and I just get royalties from it. So yeah, I mean, right now they're all sponsorships, but I've been looking at some affiliations too, because they're, like I said, they're good. A lot of them can be really good, and for like getting a little extra change in your pocket, it's they can help you out with that. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of opportunities out there, I think. Real quickly, I totally forgot to mention this. I'm just gonna let chat know if you guys have a question for either myself or TaintedRumbler. Hold it for now. We will actually have a viewer Q&A at the end of the show, so probably about 3:35, 3:45. You can ask us anything about this topic or streaming in general.
just hold it till then, and we will get to it, I promise. But so continuing our sponsorship discussion a little bit here, how did you find each of those sponsorships? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, I found True, I think it was on Facebook.
Probably.
And I saw it a while back, and I applied once before, and I didn't get accepted, but that's cool. Then I saw like you guys did another run, like you do runs of sponsorships and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? It's an awesome community, it seems like. And I was like, I'm going to try it again. And luckily you guys picked me up. So that's cool. Other ones that I found, I've kind of just did like a little research. I'd Google stuff because I'd see a lot of the big streamers would have sponsorships that are relevant to gaming or stuff like that, obviously. So like G Fuel, I would look up kind of energy type drinks and stuff that maybe kind of market towards gamers a little bit. And I found Rogue not only by doing that, I kind of researched them because I have a friend named Rocky. He streams as well. He's sponsored by Rogue Energy as well. And that I kind of found them through that. I bought their product, tried it, liked it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to email them. And also they have forms that you can fill out. So not only did I fill out the forms, I sent them an email telling them about me, telling them about the channel, even sending them like little clips and stuff like that, whatever I could to kind of show them what I'm about. I did the same thing with Designed by Humans, but I tried, like, I didn't think I was going to get, like I said, I didn't think I was going to be sponsored by Designed by Humans because they sponsor like the big streamers like Summit and freaking Dr. Disrespect and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, and they sent it. And it was mind blowing. But other ones that I've looked up too, that's what I've done. I've kind of looked at the aspects of what's relevant to gaming, what's relevant to your channel, even things that you enjoy that you think other people would enjoy in your channel, and go out there and look for them. Message them. If they don't have any tabs, if you go to the website, they'll have contact me. Contact support. I've done that too. I'll contact support and be like, is there anybody I can talk to about sponsorships or like any programs that you have for people that would want to market and stuff like that? So
interesting. So for both Designed by Humans and Rogue, you actually reached out separately in addition to the application you sent to them to kind of get like a in-person contact there first?
Yes.
Gotcha. That's
so
go ahead.
Without having to, like, it doesn't say you have to do that, but it's, if you treat your channel kind of like a business, kind of like professional, they look at that because a company wants to have their products and stuff marketed by a professional channel or something that looks professional, you know? So it's, you just go the extra mile a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. And from the other side, being on the side who gets to choose people we sponsor, we get like hundreds of applications, and I have no doubt that Rogue and Designed by Humans are the exact same way, probably even more than we do. So anything you can do to help make yourself stand out a little bit from the crowd, whether that's contacting via email or in our case, being involved in our Discord or something, it just helps you. It's like a job application almost. It makes you stand out in that person's mind a bit more, like, oh, this is the person who emailed me. I'll check out them a little bit more. Or maybe, I was talking to this person the other day in the stream or something. So I think it's a really good technique that most people probably don't think about, but it's really easy to do. So
just going the extra mile, like I said. It's definitely stands out to other people because, I mean, in my professional past, I did management and stuff like that, so I had to hire business and stuff like that. So that's just it's just kind of a no-brainer for me.
No, but I agree.
Yeah, so that's another thing too. Like, a lot of people, I've heard some people say, like, I'm too small. I can't. There's no way I'm going to get a sponsorship. That's not the biggest. Like, that being huge and having a freaking following and stuff. Yes, they love that.
Yeah,
they love it. but they also really look at the individual and the like I said, the professionalism of your channel or whatever
Yep.
you're doing and how serious you are about it. Because they see potential. They don't just see the results that someone has and all the following. They also look at someone that they see potential. They're like, yeah. So
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
you have to throw yourself out there. You have to have thick skin. Let's just say that.
No,
Be
yeah.
prepared to have like denial emails and stuff like that a lot.
Yeah, but you know, at some point you'll get those letters back that might be acceptances, right? But I think you're absolutely right about, you know, you don't have to have the biggest following in the world. Yes, you probably have to have some following because that's the whole point of sponsorship, but probably not as big as you think. And I think your point about, you know, being a professional is really important because especially as a sponsor, in a lot of ways you're the face of that company. So you have to be able to represent them in a professional way. And I think that hit the nail on the head. So you mentioned before, again, you had this formula. Is that what you just told me, or is there anything else that's not in there?
It's pretty much that. I mean, you just, if you have to spend a little bit of money to like have, if you don't know how to do it yourself, like have panels done, you know, double check your spellings and periods, punctuation and stuff like that. Make sure everything's good. Really explain yourself. Go the extra mile when you fill out an application, or if it's a company that doesn't have like an application for sponsorship, you're like, man, that has a lot to do with games. Why not just, I'm going to email, just email and ask. Like I said, it doesn't take long at all to send an email and explain yourself. If you're trying to get a sponsorship from a company, explain who you are, what you're about, send them a little bit of I guess thing with your channel or whatnot in the email, just to kind of show them what's up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really the formula. I mean, treat it kind of like a business a little bit.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And then use the, you know, like you said, go the extra mile and reach out to people, and don't be afraid because the worst they can say is no, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you have to have thick skin. A lot of people kind of gets them down if they hear the word no. I mean, it gets everybody down. Just like I get a rejection email, I'm like, man, that sucks. But you just keep going and try again later. I mean, once you build up a little bit more, you can always keep trying. It's all about persistence.
Right. And so we covered kind of the best ways to find applications or sponsorships for applications for sponsorships. Sorry. Is, you know, it sounds like you heard some through word of mouth, like Rogue from other streamers. And then some, like you mentioned, you can just go out and ask, even if they don't have something, just, you know, hey, would you be willing to sponsor this? Or if you ever thought about affiliate this? I think that's a good technique. In terms of contacting people, you mentioned email. Do you think there's other avenues people can use to reach out to people about sponsorships, whether that's like social media or things like Discord, maybe with more gaming centric companies?
Oh, definitely. Like I remember, what was it? Life is Feudal, Your Own. When that game, it was like a year ago, but I reached out to them through Discord, and I got a hold of the guy in Discord that is the community manager, and kind of gave me a bunch of free codes and stuff like that. So when I stream, I could give it like do some giveaways. So I mean, you could definitely do it through all avenues. Even if they have a phone number, you could even call and just say, do you have a marketing director I can talk to, or just something like that. I mean, you just have to go for it.
No, I agree. I actually, sorry, go ahead.
No, I saw someone said, okay, never mind. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to mention we've actually received a number of phone calls about sponsorship here at True. They're pretty rare, but we do get phone calls and voicemails about sponsorship. And so whatever way you can do to break through and talk to somebody, I think, like you said, is true. It's a good idea. Right. Okay. What else do we have here? So in your opinion, what helps sell your channel for sponsorships? You mentioned a little bit about paying for branding. What other ways can you make yourself an appealing candidate as a sponsor besides, you know, being professional is sort of a blanket term? Like maybe what are some more specific terms or strategies within that people can do?
Well, I mean, like I said, you kind of have to market, like have yourself find sponsors that kind of match your channel or what you're going for. Branding's, to me, in my opinion, branding's a huge, because if a company can see that you can brand, like some people brand theirself, like I'm TaintedRumbler, but some people have like their channel, they brand it as a community. Like what I do, my channel, I call it the Tainted Nation. That's my community, that's my brand. So I think a big deal as a streamer, having a brand and showing a company that you can brand and have following with that brand, that goes a long way. That's one of the biggest, I'd say the biggest, I think.
Yeah, I think branding is definitely important, and making sure that your brand aligns with the brand of the company, right? That they're not on opposing ends. And I guess personality is kind of that too, in terms of your brand.
Personality is a big one too, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of a gray area when it comes to streaming. It's because they know you're streaming, you're being yourself, and you create a following by your personality or the way you build your community too. I mean, if you look at some of the big streamers, there's some out there that, you know, it's not only their personality that built the big stream or whatever, it's the fact that they were able to mold their community into a happy, friendly, just awesome community that people love. So they don't only come for you, they come for what you made, like community wise.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure. How about, so when you're reaching out to people via email, or maybe in applications as well, do you ever include like specific numbers about what your channel offers? Maybe in terms of, you know, I reach this many people a month, or I have this many followers. Like, are there certain numbers that you think are better than others to let potential sponsors know about?
I mean, you could. I mean, I haven't done that, but yeah, that's definitely something you could do. Especially if you're streaming a lot and you have a lot of growth going on, that could really help, maybe shedding some light on the potential in your channel, maybe for a sponsor. If you go into your analytics and stuff and get the numbers and say, okay, well, this month I've grown this much, and this is the numbers that watched me this month, and it's up that from last month, blah blah blah. You could definitely do that, and it could definitely help, in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I was just sort of curious if you'd ever done before, and if maybe
I've never done that. No.
Okay. Yeah, just curious. But I think you're right. It's a good thing to think about. Just a way to give like a fact about your channel that is proof to someone that, you know, you are growing, you have an audience, you have people to market their products to. So.
I guess I mean, I show them, I give them my channel, I show them my channel, and they go and look at it themselves, or whatever, whoever does. But I mean, yeah, numbers, that I think that could really, really help for sure. If anybody wanted to try to do that.
Yeah, and it's really easy to do for anyone who's curious. I mean, you can do it right through the Twitch analytics dashboard, or you can go to other sites, Social Blaze, Solinome, those are all really good. Okay, so in terms of finding sponsorships, back to this a little bit, do you think that there's a difference between good and bad sponsorships? Have you had maybe bad experience with sponsorships that weren't really sponsorships, or maybe things that you just heard of in bad, or do you kind of filter between, you know, you mentioned you have to choose stuff that aligns with your channel. Have you heard of any bad experiences that people choosing sponsors that don't align with their channel maybe?
I haven't really heard of any, but I mean, there's definitely good and bad sponsorships. I mean, you don't want to go out there blindly and someone throws out a sponsor, hey, you want to be sponsored by this, and it's like an underwear company that, and you're a streamer, you're like, oh yeah, sponsor, let's do it. I mean, it's like, definitely be not super choosy, but choose wisely. Yeah, because you're aligning yourself with a product or with a community or something like that. It's aligning you with that. So if it's a product or something that's just like good or not really fitting to games or what you're going for, it's pointless to have that because it doesn't really help you. Yeah. How sponsors help is, a lot of times if you're sponsored, websites, they usually have on their website a page saying who the sponsors are. Sometimes you're featured as a sponsor. People start to know you from the product and come to your channel because of it. Stuff like that. I mean, you don't want to have a brand or like a company that's it wouldn't help.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've heard some horror stories of bad sponsorships out there, or maybe companies that offer a lot of sponsorships that turn out to be kind of shady in how they run things. So
Right.
I think you're right. I think it's important to choose sponsorships that you believe in.
Do your research too. I mean, just like products, like Rogue. I got Rogue. I tried it because obviously it's not going to help you either. If like hey, how is Rogue? Is it good? I don't know. I've never tried it. What? You're sponsored. It's like, yeah. So I mean, definitely you have to know the product and do research on it, and also you have to like it. You can't really be sponsored by something and not like it. I mean, it's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
That was actually gonna be my next question, was sort of whether you think you have to use the product to be able to sponsor it, how important that is. It sounds like you think it's pretty important.
I think it's pretty important. Like I said, I mean, a lot of the times a company or like you'll be sponsored and it's, let's say, Rogue. I've had a lot of people come in and they'll see Rogue, or they'll see that I'm sponsored because I have it up on my stream too, and they'll ask, so how is it? Is it better than G Fuel? Just asking me all these questions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I freaking love it, man. And I've tried all the flavors. I even bought the shaker. It's a good shaker. I mean, it's not the best, but it's a good shaker. So
at least you're honest about it.
So yeah, I mean, it comes through though. Like if you get a product and you absolutely hate it, hey, do you like it? Yeah,
it's
good.
great.
I mean, it's like people aren't gonna fall for that.
No, I totally get that. And I think if you're more selective about what you choose to be sponsored by, you'll do a better job selling it, if that makes sense.
100%.
Like the fact that you kind of jokingly mentioned, it's not the best blender bottle, but it's pretty good. Like that still makes me interested in Rogue now. So I think if you're honest about that and don't sort of just advertise stuff because you get paid to, you'll actually end up selling more than if you try to just make everything you're sponsored by sound amazing, because then you're lying to people.
Right. Yep.
So I totally agree with that. Okay, we kind of talked about this question. Okay, one that we talked about, but I want to get a more specific answer to. Do you think people should, you mentioned be choosy about sponsorships. Do you think it's a good idea to have a lot of sponsorships, or should you kind of limit it to a certain amount?
That's that's all dependent on what you want, I guess. I mean, for me personally, I don't want a bucket full of sponsorships. I love having a few, and it's stuff that I enjoy. It's stuff that I like and stuff that I think that the community would like. But if you want to go out there and you want to just get a ton of sponsors and have your freaking panels just covered in sponsors, do it. I mean, it's not gonna. I can't say it's not gonna hurt you, because I don't know, but I don't think it would hurt you. I don't think.
It's tough to say.
I don't know. That's a hard one. It's a hard one.
Yeah,
it's a hard one.
I think you're right, though. I think it sort of depends on the person. I think you can go overboard with it to the point where
definitely.
you have so many sponsorships that no one really notices any of them, and they're all just kind of like looking at a newspaper or something. It's just blanketed in ads. But also, it does help to have a few, right, so that you have different sources of potential income or just ways to grow as a channel.
Definitely.
So you have to strike that balance. And it's also important to think about competing sponsorships, I think. So recognize that, when you're sponsored by Rogue, you're not going to get sponsored by Gamer Subs or G Fuel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think in that case, what you said about being choosy is really important.
Yep. That's a perfect point too, because that's exactly right. If you're sponsored by someone, you're pretty much aligning yourself with it, and you're closing the door on other avenues, like you said, G Fuel and Rogue. I can't be sponsored by anything else now because I'm sponsored by Rogue until maybe the contract runs out. I like Rogue, so I'm happy with it. So yeah, you're totally right. That's another reason why you need to kind of be choosy about it.
Yeah, and actually
do your research.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are actually some stream teams out there that they have like blanket sponsorships. Of course, they're the big ones like, I don't know, TSM or whatever. But then like one that I've seen recently is World's Best Gaming, which seems to be looking for a lot of smaller streamers. And they have blanket sponsorships that cover every streamer on that stream team. So I think stream teams are a great thing, but be careful to look at what the sponsorships are associated with that team, because they might conflict with sponsorships you already have as an individual, and then B, they might lock you out of sponsorships with other companies in the future. So two important things I want to mention about that.
It's a good point too.
All right. Okay, kind of wrapping up the sponsorship discussion here. We got some good discussion, I think. So this is sort of a curious question I have from the sponsor side. What does the ideal sponsorship look like for you? Like specifically, what would you be getting out of a sponsorship that's something realistic for your channel size that you think would be, sort of the perfect sponsorship?
Well, I guess a lot of people think like sponsorship. They don't realize that there's different kinds of sponsorship. There's community sponsorships like True. There are product sponsorships like Rogue, and there's other sponsorships like that will give you things to test and you show it on stream or make a video about it and stuff like that. Realistically, for my size, I'm not a big channel at all. Not by any means. But a realistic and a sponsor to look for, a community sponsor is very important. Because not only are you aligning yourself with an existing community, but you're building together as a community. So community sponsors are a really good one to look for as a young channel. Product sponsors, those are a little tougher, and honestly, they'll help you and they'll do like a little, like I said, a little extra money in the pocket and stuff like that. But those, if you're a huge channel, you're going to make a lot of money off of it. But as a small stream, it's pretty much just every once in a while you'll get a throwback of some sort, or a free product or whatnot. So I mean, the sponsorships do different things with the terms of being sponsored.
Right, for sure. Do you think
definitely young channel, look for a community sponsor? Those are like the best as a young channel.
That's great to hear. Do you think that you get the most maybe growth for your own channel with a community sponsorship as opposed to a product or company sponsorship?
I would say community sponsorships do a lot more for a young channel as for growth. Company sponsorships, they can do a lot. Like let's say you're aligned with a sponsorship that another big streamer's aligned with, like for example, Designed by Humans. If you go to that, you'll see a list of all the streamers, and you'll see like Dr. all of them, and your name will be in there too. So when someone's scrolling through there and looking, your name will be there, and they're like, "Who's this dude?" And then look at like some of the products or some of the logos or whatnot. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go check it out. But that's for like a good growth for a young channel. It's definitely community sponsors the way to go for sure.
And do you think that maybe, by choosing going after a community sponsorship to start with, that you actually end up getting more out of the product and brand sponsorships later on down the road? Since, if you focus on growing that channel first, the bigger you get with that audience, the more you have to offer a product or company, right?
Exactly. And not only that, it's another thing in your portfolio of streaming. I'm sponsored by this. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, it's definitely something to go for. And it's as a new streamer or a small channel. Yeah. Definitely go for a community sponsor first. That's what I would say. That would be my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But I like what you just said actually about, I'm sponsored by such and such. I think that's actually really powerful especially as a small streamer, to be able to say that you're sponsored by such and such. That's just more social proof for you as a streamer, saying like, hey, I may be small, but I have this person behind me. It's just ways to kind of validate yourself as a streamer, right? And kind of prove to viewers and brands that you have some legitimacy to what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. That's just one point. I've been thinking a lot about that recently, and I think that's really cool. But so again, wrapping this up here, kind of one question I like to ask everybody again as a wrap up for the show. If you give one piece of advice to a brand new Twitch streamer about anything at all, it could be this, it could be how to make a green screen, whatever, what would you say to that person?
Don't worry too much about quality. I started off with a crappy little laptop streaming on that with my Xbox. That's how I started. Mm-hmm. Don't really worry about quality. The main thing you have to worry about is interactivity. It'd be interactive with your channel. And if there's no one in there, just start talking to yourself. Make jokes. Make yourself laugh. So just do stuff. And the more active you are with the channel, the more you'll grow. The quality is on the wayside. Mm-hmm. As long as you can have a stream, then stream.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's kind of like what you said back at the beginning, right? You can start streaming just for fun and then suddenly find out all this other stuff that you didn't even expect to encounter, like helping people with real problems and making them laugh.
Yeah. So. And you learn a lot too. Like I knew a little bit about computers and stuff when I started streaming. Now I built my own streaming PC. Yeah. I've learned so much streaming, and as you grow as a streamer, you'll want to up your quality and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's not important to start streaming. Just keep that in mind. If you're just down because your quality is not as good as the other guy, if you're funnier than the other guy, or if you have a personality, or you really interact with your chat, you really care genuinely about them and like what's going on and all that, then you do have better quality. It's just that would be my bit of advice for sure.
Awesome. I don't think we've actually had anyone talk about quality of that question yet, so I'm glad you mentioned that. It's a really cool perspective on that. Okay, last thing, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about in relation to sponsorship or about your channel in general before we jump into viewer Q&A here? No?
Not really, no. I mean, the only thing I have to say is I am super excited for Hunt.
Yeah?
So excited. Oh, dude, oh my God. I'm obsessed with that game.
I did not
think I'd like it. Oh my goodness.
Awesome. I should probably cut that question because no one ever knows what to say there, so I should probably stop asking. But anyway, we'll actually jump into viewer Q&A now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the sponsorship discussion. So if you have a question for me or TaintedRumbler, just at GreenChord in the chat, and then ask your question and let me know who it's for, whether it's for me or TaintedRumbler or both. Either way is fine. Just make sure to tag me so it shows up in bright red text on my screen and I can make sure I get to it. I have a personal question for you, just while I wait for the first question to come in here. What do you think of TRUgaming's sponsorship program overall? Is there anything that you really like about it that could be better? I know it might be a long question, but like briefly, what are your kind of overall thoughts on it?
I think you guys do a great job. The community is great. You guys attract great people. As for like the sponsorship side, you guys offer all you really need to as a community sponsor. As a sponsored streamer, you give them a free shirt, which is cool, and also you give them a free server if they want it. They can have a server, like a sub server on Arc. Let's say I could have a sub server if I wanted to, and stuff like that. So no, I think you guys do a great job for like what you offer and stuff, for sure.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, just because I've been really thinking about our sponsorship program a lot. I want to make sure that the streamers are getting a lot of value out of it, because we definitely are, but at the end of the day, it's about the streamers and not really about us. So
right. No, I think you guys do a great job. You care about the sponsored streamers, and that's what matters.
Awesome. That's good to hear, dude. I do see some questions coming in here. The first one is from Wild Dunyan. Said, so when it comes to sponsorships, would it be better to start on the foot of affiliation and work your way to a sponsor, i.e. Razer affiliate to partner to so on and so forth? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd start off on affiliate, like just like Razer, like you said. That would be awesome to get sponsored. They have a program where you can get affiliated or kind of affiliated, and you work your way up by kind of having products sold with a code or whatnot. So, I mean, there's different levels to it. If you can find an affiliation program, do it, because the longer you're affiliated and the all the work you put into the affiliation, that just gives you more, like, I guess, portfolio to be sponsored.
Yeah, leverage, right?
It proves that you're sponsorship worthy.
No, I totally agree. I think like concept of social proof that we're talking about, if you can become a Razer affiliate, because I think there's no like real requirement for that, you just apply and you get it. That's what I remember last I looked at it. But if you do that, then next time you go to apply for a sponsorship, you can say, hey, I'm a Razer affiliate, so I have some sort of proof, and then it's like a snowball effect from there, right? You can just add on more and more. Awesome. Hopefully that helps. Wild Dunyan, I see one from Super Commander 99. It says, what do you drink to stay awake? I guess I don't know.
Rogue Energy.
Rogue Energy. There you go.
Rogue Energy.
Wow, it sounds like a great product.
It's the best.
We over here at TRUgaming drink Legion. Make no mistake, we are not sponsored by Rogue. I see one from Yunzi iHex XD Gamer. GreenChord or both. What advice can you give? Oops, scroll in chat here. What advice can you give to streamer trying to juggle streaming, a full-time job, and family time? That's a tough one for sure. Do you have experience in that?
Yeah. Really, all you can do is work around your work schedule, your allotted schedule for your family. I mean, that's just, you have to figure out a schedule that would work and try to set the schedule and keep to this. That's one thing that's very important about streaming, is not only being persistent on like the brand and stuff like that, but being consistent on streaming and schedule. Because people, if they're coming into watching, they enjoy watching. It's like a TV show. They're ready and waiting right when you're supposed to be live and ready to watch. But if you're not consistent on it, they're not going to know, and they're not going to really even care too much. So that's a hard one to kind of answer, man, because trying to juggle that, it's hard trying to juggle that between work, family, all that stuff. So, I mean, you just have to just keep working at it whenever you can. Try to get a schedule, whether it just be a couple hours a day, or maybe a couple hours a week. That's a hard one to answer, man.
No, I agree. I think actually we kind of went to a episode on this entire topic because somebody was mentioning to me about that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, briefly, I'd say just make sure you have your priorities laid out. Because I get the sense that some people get into streaming because they want to do it to support their family, or a way to get more income, but then maybe lose track of actually spending time with their family. So make sure you don't get so caught up in it that you lose track of why you're doing it in the first place. It's just briefly what I'll say, but I would love to do a whole episode on that topic, actually. I see a question from Sodomi. He says, what do you think about some companies asking you to promote their product with no compensation until a sale is made? I'll let you answer that one because I have my own thoughts. But
honestly, I wouldn't do it. The reason why is because you're not getting anything out of it. They're getting a sale. When you get a sale, what are they going to float you, or what are they going to do for you? I don't think, I wouldn't do that, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'd say I'm actually kind of on the other side of the fence. Bear in mind I am part of a company here, so I may be a little bit biased, but I personally don't think there's anything wrong with it, really. I mean, it can be done badly, that's for sure. But if it's pretty clear understanding of how the program works, if there's a good revenue split, then it's a good way for the company to set up themselves that, they're not just sinking money into something they're not getting a return on. And each time that you make a sale, you're helping the company, but you're also helping yourself. So yes, you could just be promoting them endlessly and never get a sale, and that's just free publicity for them. But at the same time, it's like you're not doing a ton with the sponsorship. So it's a little tricky. It also depends on if it's like an affiliate program or if it's literally like, you sell products and they send you a check later. There's a lot of different types of sponsorships out there. But overall, I'd say I don't really have a problem with it. It sounds like Tainted is more on the conservative side, and that's totally fine. I mean, like we said earlier, be selective about your sponsorships.
It's all about being selective about your stuff. It feels like a product that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Like I've tried it, and I'm like, just like I'm telling you right now, if Razor's all like, you know what, go ahead, you can sell this stuff, and we'll start to sponsor, we'll start to pay you for it. I'm like, oh my god, okay.
Yeah. See, that's what I think it matters too. Just pick companies that you believe in their product. So, I mean, you'd promote their product anyway, right? You're wearing Razer headphones right now, so
right.
I think that's the best.
But as a small streamer as well, you got to remember there are companies out there that will do a lot for you while you're doing a lot for them at the same time. That a lot of those, like what that is kind of bigger companies too that'll do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller ones, like they'll do a lot more to kind of help you as you're helping them because they're growing at the same time you're growing. Other companies, they're already up there, they're already on the top. So
yeah,
it's just I mean, again, just be selective, man. There's many different avenues in many different sponsorships, so just find the right one that fits you.
Absolutely. I see one from, hopefully I can say this right, Hypnotic Ent. It says, for both of us, what should numbers like viewers and followers be before reaching for sponsorship? Interesting. I don't think there's go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I would just say,
go for it.
I don't think that there's like a specific number for this. I think it depends again on what company you're applying for. Like Tan was just saying here, if you're applying for smaller companies, then obviously smaller numbers are going to mean more to them. Whereas if it's a big company, you might want to have a bigger portfolio. But there are also different levels of sponsorship. So once you've done your research, I mean, I'll just give an example for us. Since I know TRUgaming, we kind of look at. Honestly, it's changed over the years. So right now we're at about like a 10 viewer threshold, where if we see you're pulling more than 10 viewers each stream or right about there, then you're a pretty competitive candidate. We also have more specific requirements on our website, and so other companies have stuff on their websites too. So I guess a good way to do that is to look at sponsored streamers for other companies and then compare yourself to them and see if you kind of meet that mark at some level. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, what was the question again? Sorry.
He basically asked, what should your numbers for viewers and followers look like before you start reaching for sponsorship?
For me, I mean, it's when you're comfortable to do it. I mean, like I said, you just throw yourself out there. If you want to get sponsorships, go for it. Try. But if you're not comfortable with having be comfortable with your channel and the numbers that you do have, and see that you're consistently growing in a way that you can be going to sponsors and being able to show them at least some sort of interesting thing that they'll want to have their product sponsored by you. It's all up to you. I mean, numbers and stuff like that, as a company, they will look at that stuff. Even a small company will look at it, but as long as they see potential, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's all about when you're comfortable to start going for sponsors, just go for it, man. That's really all you can do.
Yeah, if you can sell yourself, I think that's even more important than actual numbers, right? It's more about your argument and your market that you offer someone than whether you have 101 versus 102 followers. They're not going to care about that as much. So,
yeah.
All right. Moving on here from, Rice Harris 1. Is there any sponsorships that range for newer streamers? I guess sponsorships that are a good idea for new streamers to think about. Do you have any experience with specific sponsorships maybe that people can look at? I know Razor we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, for newer streamers, you can kind of look at like HyperX. I think they might have a little program or something that you could start off with, just having like some of their branding and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who they are, they're just like keyboards, mice, and headphones and stuff like that. Honestly, like I don't know of any. You can just do your research on stuff. Rogue is a good one. You can go to the Rogue. They do a lot to support small streamers and stuff like that. Anything that you can think of that is relevant to your stream or streaming or gaming,
Mm-hmm.
Research it. See if you can find companies out there that have programs like that. I mean, it's all about just checking it out, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are a lot of affiliate opportunities for newer streamers that are really, really minimal requirements. And like we were saying, once you get a few of those, it's a good way to build yourself up as someone credible. And then the sponsorships tend to kick in. I think we probably have one of the lowest requirements for sponsorship, like a technical sponsorship for streaming. So again, not to like promote True here, but from what I've seen, we have a very low relative requirement for that. So if you want to learn more about that, you can always check out our website.
There you go.
So hopefully you find that helpful, man. I see another question from, let me read this for a sec. ZFUGP, ZFUGP? I don't know. He said...
You can just call him Kizzy.
Kizzy.
I know who it is.
Okay. Well, he says, Taint, Kizzy asks, why you're such a good talker. Interesting.
He's just trolling.
Good old
I'm not a good
trolls.
talker. I know 2 languages, English and bad English, all right? So you're lying.
That's great. I see one from Pure Instinct. It says, have you ever decided to leave a sponsor or turn down a sponsorship, and why? Maybe you don't have to name the sponsor or use proper nouns, but has it ever happened?
Yeah. I'm not going to name the sponsor. But there was times I turned down. Mainly the reasons why is because it didn't fit what I wanted, and like I'm also thinking about future stuff too. Some of the stuff I have, I'm gonna keep having it. I love the sponsors that I have, but other sponsors that I'm looking at it's in the future. So when it comes to being offered a sponsorship, if it conflicts with something that I'm planning on having in the future, hopefully, then yeah, I'll turn it down, because I'm always looking for like building and progressing towards what I want. Sure. So yeah, that has happened. Yes.
That's a great question, actually, Pure. Hopefully find that helpful. And we've had a number of people turn down sponsorships from our end too, and that's totally cool. I mean, that happens all the time. So you shouldn't feel bad if you apply for something and get it and decide you don't want to go forward with it. That's totally natural. It happens all the time in the industry. So it's better to have the option and say no than to never have the option at all, right? That's sort of my perspective. I see a question from Zorvax. He says, question for Tainted. Sorry if this was discussed earlier. As a smaller streamer, when a larger company asks, what do you bring to the table? What do you list as your strengths? Interesting.
That is a interesting question.
I think that's probably personal, but like maybe for your channel in particular, have you ever? Go ahead.
It's pretty much what you put down is you just show your passion for what you do. You show that you brand, that you have a brand, that you have a known, credible, and people like it. But I mean, as a streamer, your channel and what you have will show. It'll speak for itself. As for giving strengths and stuff, just do all you can to let them know, like, hey, listen, I am super passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and I know your product. I've tried your product. I love your product, and just you sell yourself by just your channel alone. I mean, there's nothing really you can put as strengths and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
no,
like I said, that's one thing that you just send like little clips, or just send an episode, like one of your really good episodes or something like that. Just show them.
I totally agree. From the other end, you know, this whole week I've been going through sponsorship applications, and I will tell you that your channel matters so much more than your application. There are people who put, I mean, novels in their applications, and it's good to put effort into the application. But if I go to your channel and I see that you're not streaming at all, then it doesn't matter, or that you're just unprofessional, right? That is way more important than the application. I mean, it matters that you put some effort into the application, but only to a certain extent. Like Tainted said, at the end of the day, your channel is what sells you. So,
Yep.
good question though. Super Commander 99, another question. Do you have any channels of friends you want to plug in here? I guess maybe that's for you. Maybe he's looking for a shout out, sounds like.
Well, we're gonna be here all day, but no, if there was one person I'd say check out, it's Rocky No Hands. I don't know if anybody's ever seen him, but he's quadriplegic, and he plays with his mouth. It's probably one of the coolest things you ever see.
That's crazy.
That's the only thing I'll plug. I mean, because we are. Come on, man.
We gotta
come on. There's so many
here.
so many people I could plug, dude.
No worries. Okay, a question from Malicious Advice said, would you say offering yourself as a streamer worthy of a sponsor to invest in is of more importance than having a pre-established community that will integrate themselves with the sponsor? Interesting. Kind of a long question. So basically he's saying, do you think it's more important to offer yourself as a streamer with potential to grow than as someone with an established community? If that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, honestly, like, just establish yourself. I mean, if you have a big, like, if you have a following, or you can, I would do both. Like, say that, look, this is my following that I do have. I think I'm doing great. And here's how I'm growing. Here's the amount I'm growing. Well, here's what I'm doing to grow. Establish both of those. That'd be my advice. Establish both.
I agree. I'll briefly mention about this from personal experience. I love finding streamers that have a lot of potential to grow, and I still do. Over the past couple of years, though, with sponsorship, it's gotten harder and harder to do that with the sheer number of applications that we get. If I had time, I'd go through every single person and look, for hours at their channel and see, like, does this person have the potentially partnered one day? But now we're getting like almost 1,000 apps each time. I just don't have the time to go through it like that. So yes, it's important to be someone who can grow, but it's also important to have some base to offer people, because the reality is that companies just don't have the time to sit there and brainstorm whether you're gonna be big or not. It's much quicker to just see someone who has a following and go with that. It's more reliable. So,
yep.
All right, so moving on here. Hypnotic, thank you for the question. Apparently I pronounced his name perfectly, so that's good to hear. I see another question from Malicious Advice. He said, what would you say is the best way to deal with being rejected by a sponsor? Often people will react differently. Some get angry, some give up. What advice can you give to someone facing that situation?
Don't give up. You're absolutely right too. Some give up. That's what I said. Like, if you're a streamer, you have to have thick skin. Not just because you can get trolls in your chat and you kind of have to keep thick skin on stuff like that, but also rejection, man. I mean, that's a part of life too. I mean, you can't do anything about it. If you get rejected, it's just okay, move on to the next. It's because you can't really stay, or you can't be angry or anything like that of something you can't change.
Exactly.
because I mean, it's just it's a ridiculous thing to be angry about. And don't give up, because giving up just it's not the right thing to do. If you really want to do streaming, if you really want to sponsor, if you really want that kind of stuff, never give up and always push forward, even if you're getting roadblocks of rejection. Just keep breaking through those, push forward, and try again. Keep trying.
I agree. I actually talked a little bit about this in our goals episode and video a little while back. I think if you're looking to get sponsorships as a streamer, you should want sponsorships. That's a good goal, but a sub goal for that is to think about applying to sponsorships, not getting them, because you can control how many sponsorships you apply for, right? You can apply to 100 a day if you had the time, but you can't sit there and control how many you get. But if you set yourself a goal, like, okay, I'm going to apply to 1 sponsorship a week, and you do that, then you can feel good about that. It's something you're accomplishing and getting done. And if you keep doing that, eventually you will get a sponsorship. So I think that's a good way to circumvent that, probably.
Right.
Okay. We're going to start wrapping up here. I see one last question from Reppin' Knight, who tagged me, said, for TaintedRumbler, if I'm a fan of something, yet I don't see any sponsorship things at all, would you say I should call them and see if they would be willing to try sponsorships?
Yeah, for sure. If it's just like, I'm actually thinking about doing something around those lines, because my gaming PC, I had it built by not really a mom and pop PC place. It's a place that I've tried looking up, and they don't do sponsorship. They don't have sponsorships like this. And yeah, I'm actually thinking about calling them and talking to them and saying, hey, have you ever tried to like maybe think about sponsoring in this field, like streaming and stuff like that? Because I mean, there's a lot of potential growth for a lot of, you guys, blah, blah, blah. Definitely call them, see if they offer stuff like that. If they don't, see if you can talk to somebody and just float them an email or something and just give them the idea in their ear. Definitely worth the try for sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, again, the worst that can happen is to say no, right? And you can keep asking.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Just push forward.
Yes, for sure. All right, well, I think that is going to wrap it up for our viewer questions today, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. They were actually really good questions today, so I appreciate that. And of course, TaintedRumbler, dude, thank you for coming on the show so much. It was a really great discussion. I'm really excited to release this one.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man.
Of course. Where can people find you? Your Twitch is right under your picture, of course, but other social media links maybe for people?
Honestly, if you want to find me on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, it's just at TAGaming Live.
Awesome.
That's all it is.
Sweet. Are you going to be streaming today at all?
I think so, because servers have been down for Hunt for the past couple of days. And they just went back up. So,
oh, nice.
Usually today's my day off, but I think I'm going to go live and tear up some Hunt.
Awesome. Well, we might just raid you right after this then, if you're going to do that. But you guys should definitely go check out TaintedRumbler on Twitch. He is, like he said, a FPS main shooter. Plays a lot of those, and he's really good at them. And occasionally some RP stuff, which is really entertaining. I'm not going to lie. So go check him out sometime. You will definitely enjoy it. But that's going to be our show, guys. I thank you for coming out. This will release next Monday on all podcast platforms and YouTube and Twitch if you want to rewatch it. And we'll premiere it on Twitch that Monday as well. And then next week, our episode will actually be a little bit delayed because it's going to be with Velik and White Shadow live from our next conference. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really, really cool from the show floor. But until then, I will see you guys later. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, see ya.
For someone to do that, especially to just an affiliate, super kind. What the? Oh my God! What is that? Fuck! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh shit! Oh God!